And it was just supposed to be part-time. You know, I didn't foresee this. And I mean, just to give a shout out to my fiance, I wouldn't be where I'm at, you know, today if she didn't tell me like, yo, you can turn this into $1 million business, because I wasn't thinking about it like that.
So your fiance looked at you one day, your woman, respectfully saying this, black woman,
Yes.
my God, she looked at you and she said, you can do this and turn this into a 7-figure business.
Correct. It was, I will never forget it. It was last May, and I just got fired from my job the month prior, and I'm just like, nah. But she was like, yeah, man, you can make this a $1 million industry. And man, this shows you how dope she is. She bought a book and gave it to me. It was called Built to Sell.
What?
And was talking about raising the valuation of my company, different things and strategies that I can implement, And I read most of the book, and I'm like, okay. And that's kind of been my focus. But I'm telling you, if she ain't say that and just kept encouraging me and pushing me, and it just felt like once I believed her, everything started to fall into place.
Man, we gotta stay right there, because not bro Marcus, welcome to the table, my guy. Because it's like you talking good right here. I gotta ask this question, and if you don't want to answer it, totally cool. At that time, was your fiance making more money than you in her career field?
No.
She wasn't. Okay, cool. So she looked at you and she said, hey, I believe in you. And her words gave you the motivation. She didn't talk down on you like, hey, what are you gonna do since you lost a job? She was like, yo, that's cool. This right here, you sleeping on it.
Not only believe in me, like I'm gonna help you. So yeah, that was an important conversation for me.
Was she your fiance then?
No.
But she your fiance now, though.
Yeah, definitely.
Yo, fiance, I gotta get you on the show. I told him that I gotta get you on the show. I told him before the show, man. So, okay, cool, great. So you lost your job. And how long were you in the vending machine business before you lost your job?
Like 3.5 years.
Okay, cool. So year one in the vending machine business, how much money did you make?
Probably like $3,000-$4,000.
$3,000 or $4,000.
Yeah, my first 2 vending machines was only making combined $60 a month.
Okay, cool. So when I did some research, they said that the average person in the vending machine business makes about $34 a week in the vending machine business. But you're saying like, hey, the first year I did it. So, okay, cool. So that's year one. You're staying true with the stats of what they're saying on the average. What'd you do year two?
Year two, it was like 5 times that, so it was like 25,000
a year. So what did that come out to a month?
Probably like 2,000.
Yeah. So
pretty much it was like, because I started my business. My first location was May 4th, 2018. So my business pretty much just picked up a year later. But when you think of like the time, it got there. Because if I'm making $60 a month, then I got another location. And it grew a little bit, but nothing substantial. And then like the middle of next year, that's when it took off. So to get to 25,000 was kind of setting up for the following year.
Okay. All right. So we went from, I see you. So now you surpassed what they said.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying, per day, because now you're making about $2,000, let's say about $2,100. To be exact, it's about $2,080-something. Year three, which came your pivotal transitional year, what did you make that year?
Like around 200.
200,000 in vending machine.
Yeah, my business grew through the pandemic. I know it's crazy to talk about, but now that I step back, it's not really crazy when you think about it.
Yeah.
Because most during the pandemic, everybody was kind of trying to step away from it because like everything's closing down. But I ain't never been that kind of person, So for me, I'm like, all right, eventually this is going to be over. You know what I'm saying? So what I wanted to do is I wanted to try to get in front of as many locations as I could as possible, so that way when it was over that they had me in their mind. So what I did was I paid for an SEO specialist to update the SEO on my website. I started to run Google ads because I just started thinking like, man, it's 19,000 cities in America, so it's almost impossible for everything to be closed down and for everything to be taken. And so I started to focus on that. And then I started to kind of shift my focus from where I was having vending machines. Because at that point in time, I had an amazing student housing location, which was grossing like $3,200 to $3,500 a month.
You say student housing, college?
College.
Okay.
College.
All right.
So, and I started to look, and I started to see like, man, what could be open? Everybody's worried about what's shutting down, but I'm like, what could be open? And I started to notice things like warehouses were still open. Manufacturing, landscaping, because people are still working on this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And when you look at the fact that many of them may have been going to gas stations and things of that nature, and now the pandemic is kind of impacting that, and they want the guys to just kind of be on site, stay away from as much public. I'm like, that might be the wave, So I started reaching out to them. But then also, like I said, the SEO specialists increased my visibility. So I want to give a shout out to my man Reggie, Cherry Lubin. He's amazing with the SEO.
He local?
Kinda. I think he's in VA.
Sure, I'm gonna hit you up.
Yeah. So he's really, really good with that. I mean, my stuff kind of took off after
you paid him.
After I paid him.
So Mark, and I love this, man. Like, bro, I'm just honored to be across from another black man who didn't run away. One thing my father taught me was adapt, adjust, and overcome. Mm-hmm. So pandemic hits, and you say, you know what? How do I adapt? How do I pivot? And how do I adjust and get ahead of where everyone else is thinking, okay, cool, I'm gonna get out of the vending machine business. We don't have any traffic. You was like, yo, let's pivot.
Yeah.
And let's get ahead of it. Business may be slow right now, but it wasn't that slow. You went from $25,000 to $200,000.
Correct.
So that was year 3 into the game, which was what, 2020, right?
Correct.
2021, what you do?
300.
God.
300.
God, dog.
Yeah.
So 2021, you went up 100,000. We're still in the midst of COVID.
Correct.
The world was halfway open, halfway closed.
Yeah.
You're still pivoting, still SEOing, you're still putting things into it. 2022, this year, where you at?
We're gonna hit $500,000.
$500,000.
Yeah, I want to give a shout out to a couple. I have one location, like it's amazing. Like people can't believe that it's possible. But man, I maybe, I don't know, man. Maybe I'm just lucky, but I don't think so. But let's just say I am lucky. I got an amazing location. That's a gaming, 24-hour gaming. They have about 400 people there every day, and that location they just earned $9,800 last month. But the beauty of that location is that they have 4 other locations that they gave us, and because of my team doing such a great job, so they gave us one in Detroit. That one earned about $5,600 last month. Connecticut. That one was about $4,000 last month, and then we have 2 in New Jersey that we're actually going to be putting in towards the end of the month. So if you're talking about one that's going to do like $120,000, so just those combined is killing it. Plus, some of the other student housing, things of that nature. Like when you, and it's not like those locations by themselves are running up a couple $100,000. Plus, I have 20 other machines, so when
How many machines total do you have?
Like 23 right now. So it's not hard to when you combine those, it's not hard to get to that number. It's just that I think that I hit a lick, but I do credit my team. My team for my sister, who was my main staff.
Okay.
I moved her from home to come work with me, and then once everything was set in Philly, where I was at, I was able to move to Maryland. She take care of everything in Philly, Delaware, and New Jersey. Shout out to my son's mother. She joined the team and helped me expand too.
Seriously?
Correct.
You are employing your son's mother.
Correct.
And
yeah.
And respectfully engaged to another woman.
Correct.
Come on, Mark. Let's go, Mark. Put him on the map, baby. Yo, bro, how do you feel being a young black man, successful today, making $500,000 a year, and then realistically, what do you see yourself doing next year with this vending machine business?
Definitely crossing seven figures. One of my most important things I want to do is to pay my sister 6 figures. I'm wanting to join the 6-figure club. Looking to expand to more states.